When it comes to Pyramid Plunder, there's so many different ways that you can go about your equipment and gear setup. I'm going to be showing you the way with max hit points and prayer, and I know many of you don't like to hear that, so I'm going to give you a few alternate suggestions really fast. And that is, if you don't have a serpentine helmet, you can bring in Antidote Plus Plus. This acts as an anti-poison and it lasts much longer, like 10 to 15 minutes in case you've never used one. If you don't have a hit points cape, no problem, bring a regeneration bracelet. And if you don't have a max house to heal up, you can bring a full set of Guthans and you can actually kill monsters outside the pyramid. Now, in order to play Pyramid Plunder, you are going to need at least level 21 Thieving. This is pretty easily done by pickpocketing or various things around Runescape. There's tons of NPCs you can get this on quickly. Although the Pharaoh sceptre is the easiest method to get to the Pyramid Plunder, I understand some of you are probably going to be Iron Man, so I recommend that you pause the requirements here and complete all of these quests because it's going to make your life a lot easier in the long run for various different activities around the area. You're going to want to set up your quick prayers for rapid heal and redemption. This is going to keep your HP going at the maximum rate. If you're not using an HP cape, it's still going to double with a regen bracelet, and this is okay. You don't need any prayer pots if you're going to recharge at your POH. Pyramid Plunder is located at the most southern part of the desert. The only other way to get here if you don't have the scepter would be to take a magic carpet or to walk. Now this is a very long trip and you're really going to want that Pharaoh scepter, so if you're an Iron Man, I'm sorry in advance. If you're a new player and you're too poor to afford the scepter because it is about 2 to 3 mil at the moment, I'm also sorry. I hate to rub salt on the wound of the irons and the poor players who can't afford the scepter, but I hate to say it, you're gonna lose a lot of XP because the scepter can actually teleport you directly to the mummy to start the minigame, whereas if you don't have it, you may have to run around the pyramid to each of the 4 sides and try to locate him to actually start the game, and it's different every time you leave. So the way I learn is by actually watching people do stuff, so I'm gonna leave this totally unedited, guys. This is gonna be a full run. So the first thing you see here is passing the spear trap. That's going to be on every single room, and then you're going to want to loot the chest. So what I've done is I've actually marked a tile on RuneLite in front of each door. Now this is why you have the lockpick. I have the strange lockpick down there. I don't have the regular one. I don't think it really matters. But you just want to loot the chest so you have a chance of getting that scepter, and then you're going to want to run to the next door as fast as you can. Now you see the bar at the top, that's your time limit, and that's going to tell you what room you're on. Now these rooms advance starting from 21 like I said in the beginning, and then it's going to go 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, 81, and then the last room is 91. What you want to do is you actually want to stop at the room before your max level. So right now I'm level 90. That means I can't access the last room. So what I'm going to do is whenever I get to the level 71 room, because that's the next to last one I can access, I'm actually going to loot about half the chest. You just want to make sure that you get to your very last room with about half the time remaining on the bar. If you don't have that half time remaining on the bar, you may run out and you may not have time to loot the entire room. And the last room that you can do is the most important one, because this is the room that you're going to get the most experience on. Now all the room layouts are slightly different, but the concept is exactly the same. You're just going to run in, loot the chest, and then you're going to run to the next door. Now a key thing you can do is actually go to a Pyramid Plunder world, and the room that you see another player go into is going to be the same door for you. So if you see someone else going into the door, that's going to be the same door for you, no matter how different it is when you initially go into Pyramid Plunder. Now as you can see here, this is the level 71 room, and I've marked it with 4 tiles, that way I know to stop, and it's kind of a guide for you guys to see. This is the room before my last room, which is the level 81 room. So right now I'm going to try to loot half the chest, or at least do as many as I can, and then I'm going to go to the next room. Now the reason I haven't opened the golden chest on this one first is because the scarabs can come out and they'll injure you, so you don't want to do that until you're ready to go to the next room. And if you'll notice on the pot before that, I check for snakes. That was just as an example. I don't usually do that. I just find it quicker to actually click on the urns, just keep spam clicking them. So since I clicked on that chest, I have a little bit of time remaining and I didn't get attacked by scarabs, so I'm going to stay and loot 1 or 2 more of these pots before I try to pick the lock to go to the next room. Now you can see I'm a little bit over halfway on the time here, and normally I don't like to do this, but whenever I'm feeling pretty confident, I'll risk it. I don't recommend that when you're starting out. You want to be really conservative. So when you get to your next to last room, you probably won't even have time to stand around. You may end up just having to rush to your very last room. Now for me, this is my last room, and I'm going to get 675 experience per pot here. So if you look up on the XP tracker in RuneLite on the top right, you're going to see right now I'm getting about 150k an hour, and by the time I leave here, I should be getting closer to 200 plus thousand per hour. Another thing to note is you don't really want to loot the sarcophagus. You can do that on the last room if you want, but it just takes so much time. You're going to lose a lot of XP doing it. I guess if you want a chance at the sceptre, I think you can get it from there, but otherwise it's just going to give you strength XP, so if you're not trying to level that for some reason, you definitely don't want to do that. It's going to give you about 250 strength XP if you do decide to do that. So otherwise, you just want to loot all this, and then as the time runs out, you want to really pay attention, and if you get down to where your timer's running way down, go ahead and loot the golden chest. That way you at least have your chance of getting your Pharaoh scepter, and then go back to searching the urns. That way you at least don't lose that opportunity. And what's going to happen here is if I were to run out of time, it would just kick me outside the pyramid, and then I could start over from there. But since I have the scepter, I'm going to teleport home. I'm going to recharge, and this is just what I found to be the fastest way. I'm going to run over here, I'm going to recharge at the pool, and then I'll immediately teleport back and start the game. And if you look up at the XP tracker, I'm still at 200 plus K per hour. Now obviously that's going to go down as I go into the next room. Something else to note, you can see that I have one charge left. So let's say you're running out of charges. You're like, oh crap, what'd I do? If you've never recharged this before, I'm going to go ahead and drain the charge here. You can talk to him, and if you have artifacts with you, he will take, I think it's 12 stone artifacts to recharge it. It doesn't matter which ones they are, or like 6 gold artifacts. Now this also works with noted artifacts. So if you just want to be safe, you could keep some noted ones in the bottom part of your bag. You could just keep, if you have 20 gold artifacts, you could just keep them in a banknote at the bottom. That way, in case you empty your bag for some reason and you get there and you run out of charges and you say, oh crap, how am I going to get back? That's going to be all for this video, guys. If this helped you do Pyramid Plunder, please give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And let me know if this video helped you get your first Pyramid Plunder run. I prefer this over doing Arty Nights or anything else, really. I think that all that stuff is super boring. And this kind of gives you pretty decent XP, if not some of the best XP for thieving. And it's way more fun, if you want to call it fun. Peace out.